In this chapter, we focus on animal behavior. What if we see an animal doing something and we wonder, why does the organism do that? The answer is always the same, that it helps them survive, grow, or reproduce. We spend this chapter figuring out just how precisely a series of behaviors helps sandhill cranes and other animals do those things better. In Lesson 7, we play the animal dating game. Students play the role of a suitor or a chooser for a specific species, a bowerbird, a penguin, a wolf spider, or a fox. Using some background information, the choosers make a list of criteria that they're looking for, while the suitors assemble costumes or plan actions to show off for the choosers. After the game, use the mate selection discussion prompts handout to facilitate a discussion. Students then see another aspect of sandhill crane behavior. Both mom and dad care for their young. The Animal Behavior Part 2 presentation gets them thinking about, why do animals care for their young? In the next lesson, we wonder, why do birds flock and build nests? Students use the Animal Survival and Probability handout to work in groups to make some hands-on physical models of nesting and flocking or herding. After using the physical models to simulate animal survival, they discuss their data. The goal is to get students to recognize that they had different results every time. Why? Well, we want them to discover that animal behaviors increase the probability of survival, but don't guarantee it. In the next lesson, students note that birds migrate, an animal behavior. But they also discover the phenomenon that bird species are spending their winters farther and farther north each year. Students spend the bulk of the period researching the question, what impact will climate change have on different species? We introduce the claim, evidence, reasoning formulation where students can develop an answer, a claim, and support their claim with evidence and reasoning. They'll work in pairs to gather evidence about how climate change might affect animal behavior and survival. They'll share their most valuable piece of evidence in the exit ticket. In Lesson 10, students finish up the CER analysis that they began in the last lesson and summarize their information in a one-page poster, using the Animal Action sample poster as an example. Then, student groups briefly present their posters to the class, ask questions, and consider different CERs and how well they were supported by evidence and reasoning. Finally, students participate in the Unit Concept Checkpoint number 1, which is a formative assessment that provides students with the opportunity to better understand some of the primary concepts we've covered so far in the unit. Up next, we'll look at plant structures.